Okay, we will go ahead and get started. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Be the Future of Healthcare, the first of PIC Summer Job Sector Preview Days. To our hospital partners, thank you so much for joining us today. It really is a pleasure having you here. Students, get ready for an info-packed session on all things related to having a job at a hospital this summer. Like I mentioned before, please go ahead and rename yourself on Zoom to your first and last name and school name. If you're unsure of how to do this, Ms. Beck has put instructions in the chat. If you can, please also turn on your camera so we can have a fruitful, engaging conversation. So next slide, please. A quick overview of how this meeting will go. So we'll start off with a few announcements and short overview of the PIC Summer Jobs application process. But then a bulk of our meeting will be the hospital presentation. So students, you'll have a chance to hear from representatives of 9 hospitals that want to hire you this summer. They'll explain what their summer internship has to offer, dates, any sort of requirement, including COVID vaccine requirements, as well as common positions that summer interns have. I suggest taking notes and writing down any questions that you have. And once all of the hospitals have presented, we'll have a Q&A session where you can go ahead and ask any and all questions directly to the hospital representatives. We'll finish up this meeting with giving you what the next steps are to get your application in for these awesome opportunities. Next slide, please. So first things first, we want to hear from you. So in a second, a quick poll will pop up on your screen. We want to know, why did you decide to join today's session? You can mark off all of the answers that are relevant to you. You don't need to choose just one. So I'll go ahead and put the poll now. You can go ahead and answer it. Remember, you can choose more than one option. Awesome. I'll give it a minute and then I'll go ahead and share the poll results. So the options: I'm interested in pursuing a career in healthcare. I want to learn about the wide variety of positions available in a hospital. And I want to experience working in a hospital this summer to see if it is a good fit for me. Give it 10 more seconds and then share the results. Okay, great. So results should be showing up on your screen. We have 85%, close to 85%, I'm interested in pursuing a career in healthcare. 61% of students, I want to learn about the wide variety of positions available in a hospital. And 75%, I want to experience working in a hospital this summer. So this is the right place for you to be. You'll get to learn about all of these things as we continue on this meeting. Okay, next slide, please. Awesome. So if you are interested in any of the programs that you hear about today, you'll hear about 9 different programs. The only way to be considered for a position and selected to interview is to fill out and submit the PIC online application. The link is right there on the screen. Super easy to remember: application.bostonpic.org, application.bostonpic.org. So it'll ask you questions like your grade, school name, address, but you'll also have a chance to include things like different languages you speak, any computer skills that you have. You can describe the types of jobs or sectors that you're interested in working in, and you'll have a chance to explain why you're interested in working in those sectors. Once we get your application, our team will review it and we will match you to interview at a job that best fits your skills and desired sector. So after today, you'll connect with your PIC career specialist, either at school or by email or text, to begin filling out the PIC application. We really suggest starting this process as soon as possible because we'll be picking students to interview at hospitals on a rolling basis. So the earlier you can get your application in, the more hospital opportunities you'll be considered for. Something that's also super important in this process is making sure you have an updated resume, and that is a mandatory requirement that you must submit along with your PIC application. Again, you can connect with your career specialist if you need help creating a resume or updating one that you already have. In the chat right now, we are going to share 2 links. One is the link to the PIC application, and the other is a list of career specialist contact information. Make sure to save both of those links. I'm not sure if they're there already. One sec. Oh. I'll put them in the chat in a second. So awesome. Now that we got all of these housekeeping items out of the way, it is my pleasure to introduce Rachita Hiranyakit from Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The floor is yours, Rachita.
Great. Thank you so much, Lila. And thank you to the Boston PIC for the invitation. I had to stand up because, how many opportunities do you have to speak to a group of 150, 160 young people about summer jobs? And so thank you. My name is Rachita Hiranyakit. I'm the program manager for inclusion and workforce development at Dana-Farber. And so I've been at Dana-Farber for 10 years. My background is in education. I was a former classroom teacher. I taught grade 5 and 6, and I never thought I would find a career in a hospital. So I want to share that story because I want you all in the room to be open-minded, to know that you can have an interest in just about anything and find a career in a hospital. We have placements in finance, administration, research, facilities, IT, HR. So please know that there is an opportunity for you this summer. So Dana-Farber, we are a cancer research hospital. 50% of what we do is treat patients with cancer, and then the other 50% is to find a cure for cancer. And so our ultimate goal really is to go out of business and find a cure for cancer. We are located in between Brigham's Hospital and Children's Hospital in the Longwood Medical area. Next slide, please, Ms. Beck. So our student training program has been around for 15 years, and it's a year-round program. So it's not just a summer program. You can also work during the school year program. The goal of the program is really to pipeline students throughout their high school career, college, and when you graduate college, Dana-Farber wants you back at the Institute. And so within the last 15 years, we've been able to hire 70 of our alumni into full-time opportunities. So we're proud of that. This is a program that's invested in our young people in the community, but it is an investment and a commitment that you are also making on yourselves. So just a little bit about the program. It is a 7-week program. It starts on June 26th and runs through August 11th. You have to commit to all 7 weeks. So if you have vacation plans or if you have another program that conflicts with these dates, unfortunately, you would not be eligible. Students must work 30 hours a week, Monday to Friday, and the hours are 9 to 3:30. So again, no weekends and no hours past 3:30. There is a mandatory orientation on June 26th. And in addition to getting paid for 30 hours a week of doing real work, you're also participating in some professional development workshops, college reading workshops. This summer we'll go on 6 college tours so that you will be exposed to not only the career side, but also learn about the college side. And like I said, this is a program that is really invested in the community. It doesn't end in the summertime. You can continue into the school year. And when you are graduating senior in our program, we also have college scholarships for those students. Okay. Next slide, please. I know we're taking questions at the end, right, Lila?
Yeah.
Okay,
questions
great.
At the end.
Perfect. So I look forward to receiving the questions. So to be eligible, you have to attend one of Dana-Farber's partners high schools or be affiliated with one of our community-based organizations. So we partner with Fenway High School, Madison Park, John D. O'Brien, as well as Sociedad Latina and youth enrichment services. So if you know somebody else who's not in this info session that are eligible or attend one of those schools, please pass along this information. You have to also be eligible to work in the US. You have to be at least a rising sophomore. So if you are a freshman, you are still eligible for this program, okay? You do have to have good attendance and good conduct record. And sometimes when I say this, I see a lot of students rolling their eyes. Let me look. Yeah. And so we definitely check attendance and conduct record. And that is because Dana-Farber is a place of business. And so we want workers who show up on time, okay? And so if you're working on your attendance and your conduct, let us know in the application. We will still consider you. And then lastly, you have to be COVID vaccinated and boosted, so 1 booster by June 2nd. Next slide, Ms. Beck. So there is a 2-step process to the application. I know Lila just spoke about the Boston PIC application, which I think takes about 15 minutes to complete. And then the Dana-Farber Summer Jobs application takes about 45 minutes to complete. So you have to do in one sitting. You cannot save it. There's a QR code there, and we don't recommend that you complete your application on your phone, but if you scan the QR code, at least you'll get an idea of what the application looks like. You know, pretty basic, your demographics. There's 3 short questions that you have to answer, and then you have to upload your resume, your current report card, which you have, terms 1 and 2, and then your teacher recommendation. Next slide, please. And so here are some important dates to remember. The application is due in 11 days. Okay, so don't wait till the last minute, especially when asking for a recommendation. Once you apply, we will review your application material, and students will be invited to interview on Zoom the week before April vacation, so April 10th to the 14th. And then we will notify students at the end of April. And again, the program starts on June 26th, and then the last day we end with a celebration on August 11th. Next slide, please. And so this, I encourage students to take a picture of this slide. These are the Boston PIC career specialist and our contact information at our partner organizations. If you need an application, if you need help with your resume or how to get a copy of your report card, these are the folks that will help you get all of that information. All right, I think that was my last slide. So thank you so much. We hope that you will consider Dana-Farber and looking forward to getting your applications. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachida. That was awesome. We'll go ahead and move right on to Lisa Hai from Tufts Medical Center. Take it away, Lisa.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Lila, and everyone at the Boston PIC. I am Lisa, and I am the program manager at Tufts Medical Center with the Office of Community Benefits and Community Health Initiatives. It is my pleasure to spearhead this program for the hospital because I was an intern myself with the Boston PIC during high school a few years back. It was a long time ago, actually, and I was placed to work at Tufts actually for 2 summers working in the pharmacy department. And I am so excited to go through this process with you. And first, I'd like to talk about who we are. Tufts Medical Center is a 415-bed academic medical center. Our mission is to strive, to heal, to comfort, to teach, to learn, and to seek the knowledge to promote health and prevent diseases. Our patients and their families are the center of everything we do. We dedicate ourselves to furthering our rich tradition of healthcare innovation, leadership, charity, and the highest standard of care and service to all in our community. We provide everything from routine and emergency care to treating the most complex diseases and injuries affecting adults and children. And our patients who can walk here or are from throughout the New England. Tufts Medical Center is located in the heart of Chinatown in Boston. As an internationally respected teaching hospital, we do pride ourselves on the high quality, compassionate, patient-centered care we provide. Our hospital has one of the largest interpreter services departments in the region, with on-site staff translation services available in 43 different languages, such as Spanish, Cantonese, Mandarin, Vietnamese, Russian, Portuguese, and American Sign Language. One of the best things about Tufts Medical Center is our diverse workforce. A multicultural workforce is extremely beneficial to the healing of our patients and their families. If you are interested in joining a diverse workforce, our hospital is definitely for you. And next slide, please. For Tufts Medical Center, the internship runs from Monday, June 26th to Friday, August 11th for 7 weeks. Interviews will begin April 11th for a week, and then students are encouraged to work on a Monday to Friday schedule, 24 hours per week, but the schedule would be determined by each individual department supervisor. But 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Time frame is preferred. But again, this is negotiable with your supervisors. Students are required to attend a 1-hour learning workshop every Thursday at Tufts Medical Center, where students will be getting a hands-on experience with a variety of topics such as nursing education, physical therapy, personal protection equipment, and infection prevention. Students are highly encouraged to seek shadowing opportunities in the hospital. They can find those opportunities by speaking to their department supervisors. Aside from your supervisors, my colleagues and I will also be there to support you throughout the entire process. So you will always have someone to reach out to with questions or concerns. You must be a minimum of 16 years old and must be vaccinated. Vaccinated means the initial 2 doses. And next slide, please. And what we offer. Tufts Medical Center has been part of this program since 2006. The high school summer internship program at Tufts Medical Center seeks to respond the social determinants of health that may impact the community's youth, providing employment, positive mentorship, role models, and personal and professional learning opportunities in a safe space within the hospital. An intern from 2022 had said, "I really enjoyed my experience in the neurology department and loved working with diverse patients." Another intern also said, "I would definitely choose to intern at Tufts Medical Center again because of the sheer abundance of opportunities that exist here." Not only have we heard great feedback from past student interns, but supervisors as well. Over the years, a few supervisors have been rehiring their interns part-time or even full-time before and or after graduation. Students each summer have the opportunity to learn about the diverse career options we have at Tufts Medical Center in healthcare field. I will list a few departments who will be participating in hosting a student or more this year. That being said, that would be pediatrics, nursing, dermatology, surgery, adult heart station, wound center, physical therapy, interpreter services, and neurology. And there are a few more, but I'm not going to list them now. Our goal each summer is for you to have a successful and memorable experience. Pre-COVID, we did have upwards of 40+ student interns, and hoping that as we are recovering from the pandemic, we can welcome more student interns like you this upcoming summer. So thank you. That concludes my presentation, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you have at the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's always so nice to hear the story of, you starting out as a PIC intern and interning at your place of work today. It really comes full circle. Thanks so much. Okay,
Thank you.
next up we have Sarah Riordan from Boston Children's Hospital.
All right. Thank you, Lala. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you all on Zoom with the cameras on. And I'm super excited to be here to chat to you all about Coach, our internship program here at Boston Children's. If you want to hit the next slide. So these are just some of our pictures from last year. We had a really great summer last year. We had about 65 interns. You may be able to recognize some of these students are from the Boston PIC, some of them are from other organizations we work with, but these are just some of the students we worked with. If you want to hit the next slide. In terms of the coach team, so it's loading, but I am joined here also by my colleague, Florette Louise Saint. In terms of who you'll be chatting with Coach, I am your main point of contact. My name is Sarah Reardon. I am a workforce development specialist here at Boston Children's. Florette is our community strategies lead. She will be your second point of contact, but we are happy and excited to be here to chat to you. If you want to hit the next slide. So COACH is actually an acronym. So it stands for Community Opportunities and Advancement at Children's Hospital. It started in 2007. So it's been around for about 17 summers now. And essentially what this is it's our summer internship program. It runs for 6 weeks where we take students such as yourselves and we place you in departments. You'll work with those departments for the 6 weeks. And you'll network, you'll experience what working at a hospital is like. You will have workshops with us. And it's a really great way to spend your summer. And if you want to hit the next slide, we'll get into a little bit more about what you can expect to be as a coach intern here at the hospital. So I did love the survey you had earlier where it showed you sort of the stats of why students participated in today. And the 61 students who are interested in learning about the different jobs that we have at the hospital, this is for you. So like we all know, there are doctors, there are nurses, there are PAs at the hospital. There's so many other areas. It takes a village to run a hospital. Some areas that we typically have our coach interns working is the child care center. So we have a child care center where students are almost working like teacher's assistants, working with the little kids there. And we have food service where they're working with nutrition, helping prepare meals and delivering them to patients across the hospital. We have supply chain. You'll be working in clinics. We have inpatient floor placements, research, clinical research, bench lab research areas, a lot of administrative working in HR, working with departments such as my own. And the way we sort of match students with departments is one, once you apply, we have your resume. We get to know you through that. We'll interview you, learn a little bit more about you that way. But we'll also send you a list of job descriptions where we'll have you rank them. And we tend to really look at those rankings and try to get one of the top 3. But we, like I said, we don't promise any matches. But no matter where we place you, there is plenty of networking, shadowing, and workshop opportunities. So definitely take advantage of those when they come. If you want to hit the next slide. Specifically for Coach 2023, the dates for this program is June 26th through August 11th. So it's technically 7 weeks, but 6 weeks because you'll have July 3rd through July 5th off for the holiday. High school students work 30 hours per week. So we're back up to our pre-pandemic hours. Last year, students only worked 28 hours per week. And a typical schedule for a Coach High School intern is Monday through Thursday, you'll be working fully with your department for those 27 hours. Fridays, you get out early on Friday, so it's almost like a half day. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., you'll be doing remote workshops with us over Zoom. And these workshops range from like Microsoft Excel training. We have a networking event where you get to meet different people from different departments. We have workshops with our college interns, so you get to learn a little bit about college application process and things like that. But that's what sort of a typical week looks like for a coach intern. And this is a pathway program. So Coach High School is your gateway to Coach everything. In order to participate in our college program, which is a super amazing program, you have to have at least 1 summer of Coach High School under your belt in order to be eligible for that program. So that's just one program, but also we have a school year program. If you work the summer, you really love it, stay on with us. We offer part-time positions during the school year. And then once college is wrapped up, similar to Dana-Farber, we want to continue to help you to grow. We have our alumni services. We are also helping Coach alumni try and find jobs here at the hospital. And I'll touch on that a little bit more in a couple more slides. But some other things to note is that the high school students are paid minimum wage. It's not on here, but we do require vaccination. And what that means is the 2 initial shots. And if you are eligible for a booster, we would require you to be boosted as well. And one more thing is that we offer this, we provide the students with MBTA passes, so you don't have to worry about coming to and from the hospital. We provide those. And we also provide meal cards, so you don't have to pack a lunch. You will be able to get lunch at our cafeteria. And if you want to hit the next slide. Like I said, the coach journey, our hope is that you join us for the high school program, maybe participate in the school year program if that's something you're interested in. Come back to us for Coach College, which the positions when you get to Coach College is even more advanced, more specific to what you want to do when you graduate, and a lot more networking opportunities with the college program. And then once you graduate, our hope is you work very closely with my colleague Florette, who is also here. I don't see her in my little Zoom room, but she's here. She's very good at her job in terms of helping our Coach alumni find work after college. We hire plenty of our alumni every year, and we hope that you guys are one of them. So if you want to hit the next slide. This is the next step. So in terms of if you are interested in Coach, which I hope you guys are, and if you have more questions, feel free to send me an email. Our application is due March 24th. So our application is separate from the PICS application. You will have to complete both, but ours is very quick. Just the simple demographic stuff. Where do you go to school, your name, all that kind of fun stuff. A resume is required. And then we'll invite you to interview come April. And like I said before, with the matching, the way that works is we'll send you a list of job descriptions. You'll rank them in order of what you're most interested to and the least interested. Then once we do that, we will have you send your recommendations. We will match you with the department. And then in May, you'll learn whether or not you were accepted to the program and what department you'd be working on or working in. And then we'd start onboarding and you would get started. And that's sort of the Coach timeline for now. And that was super quick, but this is our email. If you have questions or concerns, please email us here. We are more than willing to answer them if anybody has questions or curiosities. But thank you, Lila, and thank you to the Boston PIC. So we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was awesome. Jess, I know we keep saying this, but remember some hospitals do have supplemental applications, but remember that first step is submitting the PIC application in order to be considered for an interview for these opportunities. Awesome. Okay, so now I will pass it to Lynn Courtney and Sanji Romero from Beth Israel. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Happy to see some faces that I actually recognized from last summer. So thanks for having us here today. My name is Lynn Courtney. I work at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center for the purposes of today's discussion. We're part of a bigger system with other hospitals as well, but the internship that we're going to talk about is in the Longwood medical area, right alongside Brigham and Dana-Farber and some of the other hospitals, just so you're aware of that. I'm going to talk a little bit about our program, and my colleague Sanji, who's going to pop on a second, and she will as well. Can you move the slide? Okay, so one thing that we wanted you to know is that Sanji and I are very active in our program this summer, right? So you're going to have a face and a person, two people actually, who will serve as mentors and kind of coaches for you as you go along. I think a lot of times, I remember last summer when we started, people, students were really, they were nervous. They were a little bit scared that we were going to put them into a department and they were never going to know who to talk to if they had questions or concerns. So I just want you to know that you would be spending the summer with me and with Sanji, and we will support you and help you through the whole summer. Click. Sanji, you want to talk about this?
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see some familiar faces. My name is Sanji Romero, and I am the program coordinator and will be working with Lynn this summer. I am here this summer. I know last year some of you were looking for me and I wasn't here, but I'll be here this summer. So with this slide, we want to know why you want an internship at BIDMC. The main reason why is because it shows you'll be exposed to a lot of career explorations throughout the 6 weeks. And we want you to start thinking about how serious you are about your studies. You will gain a lot of work experience in a department, and you will meet a lot of professionals in different varieties of the hospital. And then you can also add this to your resume. So when you start looking, once you graduate high school, you'll be able to start looking for jobs, and this will be a good experience to begin looking for a job. Next slide, please.
And I would say, you know, Sanji, those things all sound like no-brainers, right? Like we know that those are the internships are a good thing for your resume, but I think if you're in any way hesitant, I would suggest that you take the leap and join our program or another program. So who is someone I saw in the chat, someone said, what's Beth Israel? So Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is a world-class teaching hospital, part of Harvard Medical School, again, located in the Longwood medical area. We're part of a bigger healthcare system, and that we provide patient-centered care. Patients are always at the forefront of our minds through research and education. We provide cardiovascular care, cancer care, neuroscience, orthopedics, organ transplantation, and much more. We also have emergency services, including a level 1 trauma center. You sometimes see the helicopter. I think last year some of our interns saw a helicopter land when we were on a tour on the roof of our building, which was kind of wild. So we're a full service hospital. Can you click? Sanji?
Yes, so about our program. So our program is 6 weeks. It starts on July 10th to August 18th. We also have a mandatory orientation date, but we will discuss those details when you meet with us. You will be in person in departments getting hands-on experience, and Lynn will talk more about what type of job placements those are. It's 32 hours per week. It's Monday through Thursday. It's a 15-hour pay, and we do require a COVID booster with a COVID vaccination with 1 booster shot. And we will talk about those details again if we meet with you guys. Next slide, please.
Thanks. So what kinds of jobs would you have if you came to work with us, right? So our goal for you all this summer is to gain skills in your departments, right? We want you to really learn new things and gain new skills. So we have placements all across the hospital. And when we interview and meet with people, we try to get a sense of what they're interested in. I think, you know, other people have talked about matching, like how do you figure out what department you're going to work in? We really try to take your interests in mind, and we do the best we can to match people in departments that we think they will enjoy and have good experience with. Some of the examples are radiology, materials management, neurology. We have people in research. We have people working in OBGYN. We have placements all over the hospital, essentially. Part of our program as well, within that 32 hours, we meet as a group. There'll be 30 of us, probably right around 30. We're one of the smaller programs, I think. There'll be about 30 of us. We'll meet weekly to go on tours across the hospital. We have a brand new building, which is very cool. So we'll check that out too. And we also do a lot of, once or twice a week, we have people come in to talk to you to learn about careers in healthcare. So we'll have surgeons come in and talk to you. We have nurses come in to talk to you, not to talk to you, to talk with you, really to hear about, so that you can hear about their experiences, and so that you can ask them questions and get some advice and maybe come up with a plan for yourself. So we learned some really cool stuff last summer, and we met some really, really, really great people in the process. So I'm really looking forward to doing that again. You can scroll. And that's us. So the PIC has all of our details about application. I'm not going to go into the whole application process with you all because they have that. First step is to talk to your PIC person, and then they'll help guide you to us. So I hope we see some of you this summer. I think it's going to be a good one. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lynn. And remember, students, if there's any program that you're hearing about today that you're really interested in, you can write about that in your PIC application. There's a section where you can say, are you interested in working at a particular organization or company? And you have full reign to just write about any specific hospital that you heard about in this presentation, if you feel like that program really speaks to you. Awesome. Okay, so now moving on, we have actually 3 representatives to Brigham and Women's Project Teach: Armani Caridad, Marielis Nunez, and Fernando Medina. You 3 could take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Armani, and I work with Jasenia, who is our manager at the Center for Community Health and Health Equity. and I'm here to talk to you today about Project Teach. Next slide. So about Project Teach, we aim to diversify the healthcare field with people of color. Youth are the future, and helping equip them for success will make a better future for all. We are half summer program and half summer internship, and we combine science with public health. Now, the advantage that you gain from being a part of Project Teach is that Project Teach alum are eligible to apply for the Student Success Jobs Program. SSJP is a year-round internship program for high school students in Boston Public Schools. SSJP aims to expose and prepare students for careers in health and science by placing them with experienced professionals and providing academic and social supports. Now, the dates for our program is between July 10th and August 18th. Our students would be working 20 to 25 hours per week from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they will get paid 15 hours. They will get paid $15 per hour. And who and where our students have worked, they've worked in labs, they've worked with patients, with doctors, researchers, nurses, etc. Next slide, please. Now, requirements for our program, students have to attend a partnering school, which would be EMK, BLA, O'Brien, Madison Park, New Mission, Fenway, and Cash. You have to be older than 14 years old by June 30th, must be a current 9th grader and be a rising 10th grader this summer, must be fluent in English, must be willing to engage in educational weekly science lessons, science learning sessions, complete a public health research project, and work in a hospital department. Lastly, you have to be excited to work in a hands-on internship with hospital professionals and take advantage of this amazing and rare opportunity. Now, how you would apply is you would have to fill out a universal application, write a 1 to 2 page essay that's typed on why you want to participate in Project Teach, along with experiences you've had that make you a good candidate. You have to have an immunization record, a most recent report card, CORI forms, self-ID form, I-9 form, a work permit, and a photo ID. And applications for Project Teach are due on April 1st. Now, Fernando and Marielle, do you guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'll add on. So, hi everyone, I'm Mariana Nunez. I go to BLA, I'm a senior, and I'm also president of the SSJP Student Committee. So, Project Teach is kind of like SSJP, but it's smaller. So, it's students working in departments, but they also have like public health lessons and also science lessons. So, it's very informative. It's not just experience. And then Project Teach kind of also serves as a pipeline to SSJP, where you're working during the school year for 4 years throughout high school. And once you graduate and preparing for graduation, they have like college support, scholarships, and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, you can also private chat me or Fernando.
And I would definitely like to add on a bit to what Marielle said, that it was a great experience while I was in Project Teach. Unfortunately, when I was during lockdown COVID, but luckily for you guys, it'll be much more in-person events if COVID doesn't rise again. But I will say you'll be able to learn how to conduct yourself as well as a professional in a working environment, as well as developing your research and presentation skills. So I definitely recommend it for you each. Even if you don't have an interest in healthcare, at least you'll be able to learn a little bit more about the background of the medical field. Maybe you find a career path that you may have not known about before.
And that's it for our presentation. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, you three. I really appreciate you all stepping in and talking about the program. Fernando, I think you made a great point. Like, a hospital is like a mini city, and there's so many jobs and department options available that aren't necessarily related to healthcare. So even if you don't want to work in a traditional healthcare patient-facing role, there's so many other options for you to pursue different skills and to learn different things at a hospital. And I know that Armani mentioned the application process could feel a little bit overwhelming with all of the things you need to submit, but know that you will be submitting these in steps. So first step, you'll submit that PIC application with your career specialist. And then your career specialist will be working directly with you to get all of those other CORI forms and I-9 forms done. So don't get overwhelmed from the start. We'll be with you along the way. Awesome. Sorry, I just had to put that little bit in there, but we'll go ahead and move on to Massachusetts General Hospital. Kelsey McKenney, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey McKenney, and I'm the program coordinator at Massachusetts General Hospital. I help with the summer jobs program and the STEM club that we have for students in elementary, middle, and high school. And I just wanted to say thank you to Lila and the PIC for hosting this. I'm really excited to get to know all you students and to tell you about our summer jobs program. So just to begin, Massachusetts General Hospital is located in Boston behind TD Garden and in between the Museum of Science and the Faneuil Hall area. So for those of you who are familiar with that part of Boston, our hospital and surrounding buildings are in that location. But if you could go to the next slide and I'll get started. So MGH, Mass General, is consistently ranked among the top hospitals in the United States. It's a teaching hospital of Harvard Medical School. So that is a really great opportunity for students because there's a large culture at the hospital that wants to foster education, serve a diverse community, help students learn and grow within the hospital so that they can hopefully become employees one day and learn as much as they can about health and the community. And it is also one of the top employers of Boston youth. So we are really committed to generating the next generation of science and health professionals. And that's what you will find in this program. A lot of our students said that our managers and the team leaders really want to teach you, foster your skills, give you experiences. And a lot of our students in the past have gone from internships, the summer jobs program internship, into full-time roles working at the hospital. So there's a lot of great connections and opportunities for networking. If you go to the next slide, please. So what's the structure of our program? What will it look like this summer? So our program will be 6 weeks long. It'll begin after the 4th of July, so July 10th through August 18th. So those will be the 6 weeks of our program. There will be an orientation that will be split up in 2 half days before the start of your internship. So that'll be July 6th and 7th, which is a Thursday and a Friday. That'll get you guys acclimated to what to expect. And then on Monday, you will begin in your departments with your specific program manager. And the hours will be up to 30 hours per week for a rate of $15 per hour. We will have an opportunity for students to work 25 hours if that works better for their schedule, but we can offer up to 30 hours per week. And what that'll most likely look like is Monday through Thursday, in person on campus in your department. And then on Fridays, we will set aside an hour to meet on Zoom. And that'll be a place to meet with your team leaders and have professional development opportunities and speakers. I will go into a little bit more detail into that and what that looks like in a little bit. But to continue on the structure, the internships will mostly be in person. We may have a mix of hybrid, meaning a mix of in-person and a mix of working from home. And we will be providing a variety of learning opportunities for students in addition to where you work in your department. So this includes things like field trips, guest speakers, professional development. So some things we did last summer that students really enjoyed is we did a field trip to Vertex, which is a pharmaceutical company in the Seaport. They got to do some hands-on activities, what it's like to work in a lab. We also have a simulation lab. We went to Shriners Hospital to see what it looks like, what their work looks like, and a lot more different field trips that we'll be incorporating this summer. And as I mentioned team leaders. So this will be another really important part of the program this summer that students really enjoy. You will all be divided up into different groups, and that way you'll have a smaller cohort of students that you get to know throughout the summer, and you will have someone who's a mentor and a spokesperson for you as you go along through the summer, in addition to your manager in your department. So that'll be who you meet with on Fridays for any questions, any check-in that you want to go over, and just to have a place to have fun and get to know each other and work on professional development skills. And if you could go to the next slide. So what types of internships do we have at Mass General? We have a variety of departments at Mass General, and some of the internships depend on which department you're in. So it looks a little bit different depending on where you're located, but there's things from patient care, which consists of working alongside clinicians, welcoming and escorting patients. So you have a lot of human interaction, getting to know patients, confirming appointments. Another type of internship would be an operational role. That's really hands-on. You're working with delivering supplies, working in surgical rooms, cleaning up and organizing, restocking supplies. Another component of our program consists of research. This includes learning how clinical research is conducted. You'll be collecting data, entering data. So that is something that if you are really interested in research, then that it would be for you. We also have some administrative roles, and that will include assisting with general duties, data entry, note taking, that sort of thing. And then food and nutrition. This will help. This is helping with food preparation, any things in the cafeteria. And as you can see in the pictures to the right, there really is a variation depending on what your interests are. Although we can't guarantee you get your first pick department, we definitely are interested in knowing if you're more of a hands-on person, if you like to stay behind the scenes. So during your interview process, we'll find out a little bit more about that. And could you go to the next slide, please? So lastly, I just want to go over the requirements for the program. So the program currently serves sophomores to seniors in high school, and this includes 2023 graduates. And students from Boston, Chelsea, and Revere public schools are welcome to apply. And then you must be 16 years of age by June 1st and be able to work all 6 weeks of the program. In addition to our program, as well as the other ones, you must be fully vaccinated for COVID by the start date, and then you must receive your booster once eligible based off the timing of when you were fully vaccinated for COVID. So if you're eligible for the booster, then you are required to get that, and you must be eligible to work in the United States. And in addition to the PIC application, complete the MGH application packet. So I will put my email in the chat for those of you who are interested in the MGH Summer Jobs Program. I'd love to answer any questions you have. I hope to see you this summer, but I will put my email in the chat and feel free to email me with any questions. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kelsey. That was awesome. We'll move it right along to Brigham and Women's Hospital, and we have Carmen Santos here. Thanks, Carmen.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to share some information about the Brigham and Women's Youth Summer Program. I also have along with me a former or current participant in our college program and a person that had participated in our high school program, and I'll give her an opportunity to share some information a little bit later in the presentation. You can advance to the next slide. Thank you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Brigham and who we are. So we are also a part of the Mass General Brigham Health Network. And so what that looks like is, you know, people will say Mass General Brigham, Mass General Hospital, Brigham and Women's, and it all seems to be confusing at times for some folks, but it is one hospital system. And so in that hospital system, we have 16 different hospitals, Brigham and Women's being one of them, and Mass General Hospital being another. As was mentioned by another one of our MGB colleagues, There are over 80,000 employees in the Mass General Brigham organization. And Brigham and Women's is also one of the world-class medical centers. We reach across 120 countries. We are also one of Harvard Medical School's teaching hospitals. And we have a large international reach as well. And so just on that map, there are some of the hospitals. It's probably too small for you to see, but some of the hospitals that are a part of our organization. So again, I just wanted to make sure that folks understand there is a difference, although some of the organizations here, we all sit under the same umbrella in terms of the hospital system. You can advance to the next slide, please. Just to give you a little background about the Brigham and Women's Employment Program. It has been around for 23 years, supporting young people in the city of Boston, with a large group of young people coming to us from the PIC. And so we're grateful for that partnership. We also provide opportunities for other students that are not in Boston Public Schools, but are residents of Boston. And our goal is to, provide awareness around the healthcare industry, develop some positive work habits, as well as make sure that you are making some connections and maybe finding your way to employment with us in the long term. So as many people have said earlier, working in the hospitals is like working in a small city where we are able to pretty much find any kind of opportunity. And so having this chance to work during the summer will give you some insight into some of the opportunities that are available to you as you decide what you want to do after high school. Next slide, please. And so what I'd like to ask people to do is kind of think about where you see yourself. And so I've listed here some of the places and departments where we have had students work, and you can read through that list. But I also at this time wanted Sam to unmute herself and give a little bit of history about her experience with working in our summer program.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I first want to thank you all for spending your time and evening with us. I want to introduce myself. My name is Sam Dahir. I use she, her, hers. I'm a senior at Simmons University, biology major, minor chemistry, sorry. So I started this program around 2018, junior in high school. So I was in you guys' shoes, didn't know what to do specifically, but I do know that I wanted to do somewhere in the hospital. And so that's when I applied Brigham and Women's under the workforce development. And my first job was around like a lab assistant. And I always knew that I wanted to work somewhere with specimens, but also hands-on at the same time. And I learned a lot of experience, more professional around that time. And as I continue working in the workforce development, I decided to work as a phlebotomist under the lab research department, more pathology based. And so now currently I am a part-time phlebotomist and also helping with Carmen as a college student with youth summer program. So if it wasn't for the workforce development, I probably wouldn't realize the other opportunities around the area. So, yeah.
Thank you, Sam. So if you didn't catch it, she started working at with us in the summers as a high school student. Then as she transitioned to college, she came back each summer and she helped manage some of our youth program. And then also now she works in the phlebotomy lab part-time and is going to school full-time at Simmons University. So we're pretty proud of her. And again, this is an opportunity, as other hospitals have said, we're offering these summer opportunities for you to explore and grow and hopefully come back and be a part of our community during your college years and beyond. You can advance to the next slide. Thank you. And so I'll just quickly go through what our expectations are in terms of participating with our program. Like everyone else, you'll also need to fill out the PIC application, but this is just some information about our program. There is a typo there. It should say the 26th through the 11th, and our program is also 7 weeks. It is a 30-hour work week, and we are offering also $15 an hour. Our program is on campus, and it could be either on our main campus or it could be one of our satellite locations, one of our practices. And so a lot of times students get concerned about, I can't get there. We would not place you anywhere that you couldn't get. So our practices are either accessible by T or through our shuttle that runs pretty frequently from our main campus. And so that is kind of where the work will lie. What you'll need to do is fill out our application. Fill out the PIC application, and you will also be interviewed if you're interested in. And then if you are selected, we're asking that you have all your work and paperwork and the different documents that you'll be needing to come on board by May 22nd. And for skill set, we're looking for students that have a positive attitude, that are willing to work with others and willing to learn. And so that is critical, coming with a positive attitude. We have some amazing managers and supervisors that work with our young people that are really excited to have you come in during the summer. And I don't know, Lila can speak to this. Last summer when she walked around with me and met some of those people, they were able to say to her, we're happy to have folks. And the work that you do in our hospitals is critical. So as much as we want to teach you and help you learn and explore, you are also providing great resources to our patients and other staff people that work there full time. It is not just a summer job. To some folks, to our team members, they really value the work that young people bring to the hospital. And so the 2 years where we were not able to have young people in the hospital due to COVID, I can't tell you how many departments called and said, are the kids coming back? When are the young people coming back? So we are just as excited to have you there as you are to be there. Again, for eligibility, you have to be a Boston resident. For our program, you have to be 16 years old by June 1st of this year, have to have the same COVID vaccinations as others have talked about. And we expect that you'll participate within our program for the full 7 weeks. If you have other academic commitments or athletic commitments, or if you have plans to travel with your family, then this is not the program for you. However, if you are, for whatever reason, needing to do academic enrichment, or if you need to attend summer school, we are happy to work with your schedules, as we have a little bit more flexibility in our scheduling of time. We do service 110 students, and we do offer weekends depending on the department. So those departments that are 24 hours often will have opportunities for young people to work the weekends. Again, that is depending on the department that you work in. And then I think I've touched on everything. If I haven't, Lila or your career specialist can reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And I look forward to meeting with you and you meeting our team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carmen and Sam. And Carmen, thank you for making that point about that supervisors in the hospital are happy to have you there. This isn't just a job for you to go and get paid and go home, but this really is a way to have mentorship and a way to help the hospital day to day in a way that they weren't able to get when you all aren't there over the summer. So thank you for that. And now we will have Lynn Stewart from New England Baptist Hospital. Take it away, Lynn.
You're on mute, darling.
sorry. Our program is thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. Our program is probably one of the smaller ones that you've heard about tonight. And that's probably because we're one of the smaller hospitals. We're a specialty hospital. We only take care of orthopedic patients. So there'll be patients with anything musculoskeletal. We don't have an emergency department. We don't have pediatrics. We don't have a lot of the other clinics that other hospitals have because we are so specialized. But the upside of that is when you're in a smaller hospital, you get to have a lot of attention from the staff, and you get to experience a lot of things that maybe would be possible in other hospitals or other areas. So there aren't a lot of sick people in the hospital. They have for a very short amount of time, usually a day or two. So, and then that's different too in the way other hospitals are. So we do not have any COVID patients, and you know, it's I like to call it a happy hospital. People come in and then they leave and they go home. So the program has been around for about 12 years now. We expanded a little more each year. It's run a lot the same way as the other program you've heard about. It's meant to help you learn about hospitals. You know, that there's more to being working in healthcare than being a nurse or a doctor or a PT. You know, all kinds of things that you can do. And so while you're here, we want you to be aware of those things. Be curious. You will be placed in one department, and you know your 4 top choices. We'll try to give you a choice, but we allow you to shadow in other departments while you're here. You can take a half a day a week, and go shadow and see what it's really like to be, let's say, a rad tech, or see what it's like to be a PA. And so you can do those kinds of things. Once a week, we meet all together and we do we call them lunch and learn. So we'll have somebody come in from different areas of the hospital, tell you what their job is like, what they had to do for education to get to that job, what they make for money, you know, all kinds of those things that are always important when you kind of decide what you want to do with the rest of your life when you finish with the school. So again, we have a lot of students that will come back summer after summer. We've had a couple that will follow through college and seeing graduate. They've ended up going into nursing. Another one was going into public health. And the way that happens is they're here for the summer, then they'll come back for Eden, and they just kind of stick with us, and we get to see them go through the whole process. So then our program is September 10th to August 18th. You can work until August 25th if you like. Some students like to get a week off before they start back, but we do it ends on the 18th, but we do allow you to stay until the 25th if you'd like to do that. So we've had patients in different areas of the hospital. We have the Bond Center where people go in to before they have their surgery. So you'd be calling the patients in, you put them in a room, give them their Johnny, do things like that. Take care of the, you know, clean over the room when they leave, you know, put a clean towel, sheet, towel, pillow. And then there's another area in the hospital where patients come to be examined and do everything they need to do before their surgery. That's a pre-admission screening unit. So there's a lot of patient interaction there. You take patients into the rooms, you take down their history, check and make sure nothing has changed, go through a checklist. And so you're a little more patient involvement one-on-one in that area. There's the lab, there's transport, there's food and nutrition, unit secretary, the inpatient floors where you would, you know, sort of go and visit with the patients, make sure that you know, they have everything they need, be another set of eyes and ears for the people that are on the floor. They can get, you know, someone might just need a blanket, something like that. They need to take care of that and get it from them. But you're an integral part of the staff and the patients on that hospital unit. And then we have patient escorts. We can be in the lobby and escort patients to different areas of the hospital where they might need to go for appointments, or they might need to have a wheelchair to help them go there. So a lot of people interaction in that area. So the criteria to be a part of our program is, of course, to fill out the PIC application for us to be a part of the Boston Public School System. We do give preference to Mission Hill community students first, but we're open to, all of Boston School students and one welcome to apply. You have to have your flu vaccination, COVID vaccination, and booster. We take juniors and seniors. So the application on our website with a brief, paragraph of why you think you'd like to be a part of our program. And we would like to see a resume and a note from the teacher saying why you'd be a good part of the program. So I think it's a 30 to 40 hour work week, depending on which position you end up in. And as I said, Monday through Friday, lunch is provided. We give you a lunch ticket every day. And the lunch and learn days we order out, and you can order what you like from wherever the places that we're ordering from that day. So I think I have covered everything that I wanted to, and I will put my name and my email in the chat. And I hope to see a lot of you at least come through for interviews and hopefully come through summer. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Len. Appreciate it. So unfortunately, Katie Plant from Faulkner Hospital was unable to make it today, but I will quickly go through some of their program details just so that they don't get lost. Next slide, please. So Faulkner Hospital is a small community hospital. It's not like all of the other big hospitals that have different wings where you can get lost. It is a small, more intimate setting. They have 15 spots open, and the dates of their program are from July 10th to August 18th. Similar to other programs, their program runs for 30 hours a week, $15 an hour, and you will be working a set schedule of 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. As you've heard from different programs, some have more flexible hours, such as Brigham and Women's Hospital and Carmen Santo. She said that students have options to work on the weekends, but Faulkner Hospital does have the set 9 a.m. to 3:30, and all of the department placements are in person. Some of the potential roles that you could be working in are transport, food service, the welcome desk, environmental services, radiology admin, rehab services, among others. Like other hospitals, they will try to match you best to something that fits your skills and something that you would be interested in. Next slide. A few of the requirements: you must be 16 by the hire date, which is early May. You need to submit a separate Brigham Women Faulkner Hospital application by early May. But when they say application, you've already been accepted by that point. It's just to get your information in. So once you submit the PIC application, you will interview. And after the interview, you will be told whether or not you got the position. Once you've been given the position, you would need to submit this other application. You will also go through occupational health services, which will require immunization records and a TB test, which will be provided on site. And there is a COVID vaccine requirement of the primary COVID vaccine series +1 booster. So if we've noticed, of all of the hospitals that have presented today, 8 out of the 9 require the primary COVID vaccine plus at least 1 booster. So if you aren't already vaccinated, we really suggest you starting on that process now, because you won't be eligible for these programs unless you do get vaccinated against COVID. Next slide. And I will go ahead and pass it to Beck, who will quickly do an overview of the student application process, and then we will open it up to everyone to ask questions.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to all of our students who have stayed up to this point. I know that it is a long session in the afternoon, but we're very, very happy to have you all here and talking to you. So I'm a career specialist. I work at Fenway High School. I've seen some familiar Fenway faces here today. I just wanted to go over the application process a little bit for you. So the first step is to fill in the application. If you have any questions about the application, any questions about writing your short answers to the questions, anything that you need, any help on your resume, your career specialist is your first port of call. You should absolutely find and make friends with your career specialist in your school We want to help you. It is our entire jobs to help you and to make sure that you are going to be in a fantastic summer opportunity this year. Some of the healthcare employers that we've spoken about today also have extra additional materials that you might need. So we might need letters of recommendation, a report card, or school attendance. And again, your career specialist can help you to find those as well. Our next step, once we've gotten through the application, you do need some hiring documents. I'm not going to go too much in depth into the next few steps, but again, your career specialist can help you with all of these. If you have any questions about whether something is a photo ID or not, if you don't know where your social security card is, if you need to ask your parents, you need to order a new one because it got lost along the way when you moved house, please come and see your career specialist. We can help you with all of that. We can also help you with step 3 of the process, which is your interview. So all of us at the PIC, all of the career specialists that work with you, we would love to help you. We run mock interview sessions all the time. We know the questions that employers are likely to ask, and we can make sure that you feel really confident and comfortable going into that. And then you will receive a job offer. And sometimes it will come from an employer, and sometimes it will come from us, but it will probably come via email. So you need to make sure that you are checking your email throughout this whole process. And down the bottom of this page, which also this poster will be available in your schools as of this week or next week. You also have that QR code that you can scan for the application. But we also, as a reminder, and I click through to the next slide, have this wonderful link. So if you think that you might forget, please take a photo of this slide. It is a very easy link to remember, application.bostonpic.org. Ingrain it into your memories and go and see your career specialist wherever possible. Again, a resume is a requirement for the PIC application. You can't press submit until you've included a resume on the application. So please come and see us if you are unsure, if you need to update it, if you don't even know what a resume is, come and find us and we will help you. All right, Lila, back to you.
Thank you so much, Beck. We will go ahead and open it up for questions now. So if you have a question for one or any of the hospital representatives, you can go ahead and raise your hand on the Zoom, use the Zoom feature, and we can start calling out on students. You can also put it in the chat. Awesome. We have a raised hand. Mei Zhang from OB. You can go ahead and ask your question.
I just want to ask, when we do get accepted into a program, we do we are able to communicate when we'll be able to come to work if it's during the school year, right?
I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it, please?
If the job is during the school year, we are able to communicate when we'll be able to come to work and when we'll get off, right?
Yes, definitely. So if any of the opportunities that we're talking about are during the school year, they will be after school, and you'll work directly with the department to create that schedule. But the majority of these programs that we've chatted about today are all during the summer. So unless you are in summer school, then it would be a normal work schedule, which is between 9 and 5. But again, you'll work directly with the program manager and your department to figure out a schedule that works for you. Okay, I know we have Isla Lara from EMK.
Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. So is the Tufts Medical Center program paid, and where do we apply for Boston Children's?
As for Tufts Medical Center, it is paid and it's $15.25 an hour.
Thanks, Lisa. And for all programs, you will submit a PIC application. So the great thing about a PIC application is that you don't need to submit to different hospitals in order to be considered for them. You submit one application, and in that application, you can talk about the hospitals that you'd be interested in working in. And then our team at the PIC will go ahead and match you to interview at these different opportunities. So just one application. Okay. I know we have some questions in the chat, Beck. Can you pull one of those, please?
Yes, sorry, I I was having issues getting my mute to work. So we have a question of, will we be getting a department list for each separate program that you apply for? Like to select what position you would like.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, Nala. So for Tufts, we usually send a list of departments that will be hosting students, as well as their description and the skills that they're asking for students. So we usually send it to Lila, and Lila would ask career specialists to share with the students before their interviews.
Thanks, Lisa. I will say though that not all hospitals give department lists right now. Up in, like, while you're still interviewing, they're still recruiting departments and finalizing those placements. So during the interview is that time that you can say, these are potential departments or things that I'm interested in healthcare, to try and place you in a department that kind of meets what you're looking for. But you won't be getting a department list for every hospital and for every opportunity. Okay, we have Cashton from Boston Latin. You can go ahead and ask your question.
I think Cashton put it in the chat.
Okay. Are there any exceptions for working at these places that require you to be 16 plus? I'll be in 12th grade by the time I turn 13, so I don't even know if I'll be eligible for any of these, considering I'll be going to college. Would any hospital partner like to take this on?
I can answer. I said this in the chat earlier. We prioritize those who are 16 plus, but we will consider students who are under 16 if they're in high school. And just so you all know, the reason for that is that under the Massachusetts law, you have to get a work permit, and it can be much more of a elongated process to do that if you're 14 or 15. So that's why a lot of the hospitals say 16 and plus. It's not that we don't think that you're capable and confident. It's that the amount of paperwork associated with that can kind of cause a delay in getting people into their program. So we will consider, but we prioritize 16 plus.
I'm happy to speak for Mass General Brigham. So that would be Brigham and Women's, Brigham Women's Faulkner, Mass General Hospital. You have to be 16, and probably for that exact reason.
Wonderful. So I have a question here in the chat. It says, if you already filled out the application for PIC and you need to update something like vaccination status, do you contact your career specialist? Beck, can you go ahead and answer that one?
Yes, absolutely. Contact us about anything to do with the application. So if you realize that you made a mistake, if you realize that you didn't answer something as completely as you were able to, you're not able to go back once you submit it. But if you contact us, we can help you to get those things changed on the application, or we can, message people and let them know that there is more to the application that wasn't submitted for whatever reason. So if you make any mistakes or anything changes after you submit the application, please come and find your career specialist. We are more than happy to help you.
Thanks so much, Beth. Okay, we have two here. We have, Carmen raised her hand.
Yeah, I just wondered, I jumped on a little late. Will PIC be supporting students in obtaining their work permits? So all those students that are 16 and 17 will need a work permit, at least for our organization. Any student 18 or older will not, but I'm wondering if career specialists can assist around that process.
Yes, definitely. Our team will be helping out with the work permit, so you don't have to worry about that. Maya Kareth from Boston Latin School has a question.
Yeah, so my question is, so from the affiliated hospitals that we heard from today, are there any hands-on research opportunities in your programs?
I can speak for Boston Children's. We do have hands-on research opportunities here. However, for high school students, they're pretty limited. We do have a few high school students that do participate in our research, whether it be clinical or lab bench research. But a lot of the research positions go to college students. And in order to participate in the college program, you have to participate in the high school program first. So it's something to look forward to if that's something you're interested in. But very limited for high school, but we do have it for college.
I see. Thank you so much.
And I saw a question in the chat about how to find out who your career specialist is, which is a wonderful question. So I've just popped a link in the chat right now. If you are unsure who your career specialist is, you can jump over to that link and it will tell you based on what school you are at. You do have to be a Boston Public Schools student. If you can't find your school, if you can't find your career specialist, if there's no name next to your school, then you can just take any name on that list to email them and we will help you find who you should be talking to.
Thanks, Beck. I've seen 2 or 3 questions in the chat asking about missing some time. For example, missing the last few days of the last week because of travel, or if you need to be there for the full 6 or 7 weeks of the program. Can any hospital partner speak to that, please? Is it a requirement to be there the entire time?
It is a requirement for Brigham and Women's.
We require it as well, but we can get a little flexible towards the end of the program.
It is a requirement for Tufts Medical Center also.
I would say again, and the reason is we want folks who are going to commit to the entire session. Having said that, if you know that there's a day in July that you have this plan ahead of time and you can tell us that ahead of time, like I'm going to need to miss work that day, we can work around that. But coming at us with spring surprises saying, oh, I'm going to, Vermont or Mexico or wherever for the last week, that really damages the program. So I think I speak for all the hospitals. We need you to commit.
Thank you so much. And I think I'll take this last question. Do you get a weekly check or do you get paid at the end of the program?
BWH is weekly.
We're bi-weekly. Every other week.
Baptist is bi-weekly.
Tufts is bi-weekly as well.
Boston Children's is bi-weekly as well.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So yes, if you participate in one of these programs, you would either get paid every week or every 2 weeks. Okay, I know we are running low
Oh, sorry,
on
Lala.
So
we had 2 questions that I just wanted to really quickly address. One was about the application, if you can save your application as you're going through, and yes, you can. But if you want to know the questions that are on the application, you can again contact your career specialist and we can give you access to those questions so you can plan them out in a Google Doc before you have to put them in the application. It just makes it a lot quicker. When you're going through your application, also, if you have a laptop or Chromebook, that will help you to be able to move through the application a little bit more smoothly. And we also had a question of wondering if we can share the slideshow that we have. And yes, again, your career specialist can share that with the people that were on this Zoom and any others that need access to that information. And we will also, I believe, have access to a recording. So you'll be able to come back if there was any particular program that you were really interested in and you were busy taking notes, so you missed something. We can absolutely share that with you. So again, career specialists are your absolute best friend. Please come and find us. We really want to help you.
Thank you so much, Beck. We've been sharing these links in the chat, but sharing them again. Those are the 3 most important links you need. The first is the PIC application. The second is career specialist contact info. And the third is the PIC student jobs website. And we will have the slide deck and the recording posted to the student jobs website by next week. Beck, would you mind sharing the PowerPoint again, please? Awesome. Can you go back 1 slide, please? Awesome. So a quick reminder to students who are still interested in exploring a summer job in other sectors. We have the STEM and Tech and Finance sector preview days coming up. The meetings are the next 2 Wednesdays, same time, 4 p.m. using this same Zoom link. Your career specialist has access to these flyers. You should have already received them via email or seen them up at your schools. But again, if you have any questions, always go to your career specialist. Thank you everyone for attending. A special thank you to our hospital partners for joining us. And I hope that everyone has a good rest of their evening.
Thank you, you as well.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, thank you.
Good night. Thank you.